Hey guys, Big Jonas here. I just want to do a quick video update on the Bitcoin daily chart. Closing about 45 minutes, but very interesting, price action over the past few days. Still bumping up against that MA 200. We're about to confirm another bear cross here. MA 50 going down below our 100. And the reason I'm a little worried about this is because the fact that we were able to bear cross back in the end of May, and then reinitiate a bull cross here back in the end of June, only to see this again falter, makes me feel like more downside is definitely possible. Even if Bitcoin is able to get above this MA 200 here, which for now is a very tall task at 59K, these two indicators here, these two moving averages on the daily, are going to act as significant resistance if the price action is able to get up there. Now remember, both of these are falling. So even if Bitcoin is rising, these will get lower and lower in price, currently at $64,000. I wanted to pull up our Bollinger Bands here on our daily. Talked about last time in the video how piercing the lower Bollinger normally leads to a temporary relief rally, if you will. And the last time that happened, we hit right up against the middle BB there. Still riding that lower Bollinger, middle Bollinger around 60K. Remember, that's the MA 20. Pulling up our EMAs, EMA 12 and EMA 26 here. Oh, that's the 55. There's the 12. Again, after that bear cross, that was a pretty nasty signal there back in mid-June, and a very similar situation where we rode up this bull cross all the way from February, all the way into March. Price action still holding it into April. There was our bearish cross here saying there was downside ahead. We were able to regain that bull cross only to lose it once again mid-June. That's kind of been the flow we've experienced ever since. What's concerning about this is that we were able to test the EMA 12 daily and get above it here and actually find support on it. But the resistance in the 26 brought us back down. And now that 12 is acting as major resistance. 12 is at 58K and the EMA 26 is at 61K. So bear cross still holds with resistance above current support. Let's see. Anything else I want to talk about? You know what? There is one thing I wanted to mention, which is our VPVR. The window really of this area here, and let's just go back. We can even use all the way back till last May. A good. Well, let's go a year. A good year right here. There's a year's worth of price action in Bitcoin. And we're kind of in this window here. There's a very limited price action in the entire year here, but we flew up in this area so fast, found a little support on it. Now we're kind of riding that lower below what used as big support in the beginning of May here. The reason for that is you can see there's a lot of volume above the price action and a lot of volume below the price action, but very little in this window here. This window of relative weak price action takes us really all the way down into the mid 40s. We have these pockets of just limited price action, and that means limited support. Okay, now that's limited support on the downside, and limited resistance can be on the upside. Honestly, our next major area of meaningful support really is in that $42,000 to $45,000 range, and this is kind of a very interesting area here. Notice the POC, or point of control, is all the way down here at 30K. That really represents the longest area of consolidation over the past year that really established the base for Bitcoin to run up into that ETF announcement there. So this window causes me concern that the possibilities of still drifting lower into the mid to high 40s is much more reasonable. Also, this area basically now constitutes resistance. All the price action in this here, all the new bag holders in this area here, going to be very hesitant to, if we are able to get price action up there, are they going to want to basically cut some of their losses if they're able to get back closer to break even? So this is where major support is, also corresponding with this area of price action and chop we had back at the beginning of the year. But between there and where the price action is, there's very little other than this little area here right at 50K. Obviously, that's a psychological area of support as well. I want to talk about our chalk and money flow. Again, I'm on the daily chart here, still in the negative, still trying to claw our way back up here. Still trying to put in those kind of higher histos here. We got pretty low here at the beginning of July. And we are starting to see this trend going up here. And that is important. This is the biggest bearishness, okay, we have seen in Bitcoin, arguably in quite a while. We didn't get down to these negative lows here really since September of 2022. Every dip was much more shallower from a CMF standpoint than what we are currently experiencing right now. We can see the strength of our bullish price action here and the limited weakness every time we went in the negative. This one here, basically starting in mid-June, was really a tell that we were kind of lose a lot of that price action momentum. Looking here at our MACD, again, daily chart, still putting in those negative histos, although we've had 1, 2, 3 days. Here's our low, here's our higher low, here's our higher low. Here's our low, here's our higher high, and here's another higher high. So we are building in the right direction in the positive, our histo. And then after that rejection we had here in our indicators, we actually are now beginning to turn up finally, in our lower indicator there. So we are looking for some sort of a bull cross, in the coming days, coming sessions here, where we can kind of begin to get these two indicators to merge and then basically have them slowly begin to go up there. That's something that will take a couple more days to play out. On balance volume, this is very important. You can see just the bleed out, right? Here is our climax and just the bleed out of our OBV. This was a trend line of support all the way here till mid-June. That broke. That was a very concerning tell. We tried to get some sort of a confirmation back up there, able to put in this lower low, and now we're just kind of hovering support in this area here, which was support, backed hit it as resistance, clawed back above it bullishly, and now we're back at it once again, trying to use it as support. Very small W bottom here, little something there, boom, boom, boom. But our next really obstacle here is to get back above this area, which acted as decent support back at the end of June until now it is currently enacting as resistance. Daily RSI, we are back over our middle indicator here. But we're at a week 38. That is a week 38. And we consistently are putting in these high, lower high, and still lower high. And of course, we cannot forget our Batman kind of head and shoulders here, which for now has kind of marked the top in Bitcoin price action. So we got to break this trend. There's our high, lower high, lower high, lower high. The next area bulls want to tackle is this 44 area, and for now that's going to be very strong resistance if we're able to get back up there in the RSI. We did finally stop the bleeding here in our stochastic. The last couple times we went all the way up, we went all the way down, went all the way up, and we didn't go all the way down here. And we're still in a bull cross of our indicator, where the blue one moves faster than the orange one here. So it's important to keep this moving in the right direction, okay? We don't want our blue line to roll over here. So we'll be looking for some sort of potential bear cross in the coming sessions if this blue line does roll over. So there's kind of mixed signals here in terms of indicators. Some are weak and trying to backtest. Some are just showing that it's trying to bottom out there. And lastly here, this is our squeeze momentum. Been in the red histogram basically all through June into July, and we are just slowly beginning to turn the corner here and starting to put in some higher highs here, just barely, but we got a long way to go before we get in the positive. Any move here above the positive, we can put in some of these green mountains here, would be a very meaningful move. You can see what it does. This is our bullish time, this is our bearish time, and for now this is the extension, the length of this bearishness is again rivaling the most bearishness we've had since June of 22. We have not put in these negative histograms this low since June of 22. So maybe we just had to get it out of our system, and now we're basically on the uptrend here. But for now, there's really nothing indicating a lot of strength, even though we are trying to kind of create some sort of a base, some sort of a bottom here. So, a little more than a half hour left in the current daily price action, but I just wanted to give you an idea of where we stand here in the most meaningful areas. I think that everybody's kind of watching here. MA200 on the daily, we got to get above 58. That can bring us higher, potentially testing our other MA 100 and 200 there. From a horizontal standpoint, you can see this wick here we hit on June 24th, right at 58.5. Major support. We had a bounce from 58 all the way to 63. That was a nice move there from that lower wick piercing pattern, almost an 8-9% move. That is resistance. That is still that horizontal resistance. And what's concerning is that this area here was such a great area for support. We found support here, 56, went all the way up. That 56 hold brought us a 27% bounce there. Now we are still more or less on the underside of that area of previous support, now acting as resistance. So we're right at the cusp of potentially tickling this area that's currently support, but until we're able to change that and move this general direction, the bears have shown complete control, and the bulls really haven't shown much of a strength yet to kind of change the pattern. So still early in the week, okay, not really much to say about our weekly chart here, other than we got some really nice wicks kind of forming here, but still very early in the week for this to play out. And the volume a couple days into the week is kind of more or less in line here, but still pretty anemic as we are still in the summer months for at least half the planet. Anyways, Big Jonas here, just a quick update here. Guys, stay cool out there, stay safe. I still expect a lot of chop, but we get some Fed news, I believe, on Thursday, and that could definitely bring some volatility in the market. And listen, as long as S&P and NASDAQ are still above their all-time highs, maybe there is some room for Bitcoin to catch up. But if those turn around, if we get some sort of a consolidation, frankly overdue consolidation, 5%, 6%, or even more, be curious to see how the Bitcoin price action corresponds to that. They've been few and far between when we've had these corrections in the stock market, but it seems like every time we do see that weakness in the crypto market as well. So be safe out there, stay cool. Big Jonas, talk to you soon.